Hello everyone, so this is Russell from ZEN Real Property, and today we made this video for you guys to help you with all the questions which you might have because you move into Phuket and you're planning to your next trip with a school, with how you're gonna get the visa, with the currency exchange, with which location is better. So we get lots of questions from our clients, and in this video we decided to answer to all of them. The most frequent question the clients ask us. So watch until the end, and I think this video is going to be very helpful for you guys, and see you soon in Phuket when you come here. Okay, so the first question is which area in Phuket you should actually live and which one you should avoid. So basically it depends from, do you have family, do you have kids, do you fly a lot, or do you like party, or do you like diving and water sports, or maybe you want to have a boat. So basically we can separate the areas on the two main parts. The first one is beach line. The second part is inside the island. Definitely the beach line is almost everywhere, is crowded, lots of tourists, but sometimes they have a beach line which is calm. So the tourist areas is party areas. I will call you the beaches so you can know about them. The first one is Patong, the next one is Kata, next one is Karon, and Rawai. Next to Rawai, they have Naiharan Beach. So basically, this is the all lowest part of Phuket from the left side. So these beaches is nice for tourists, and the people stay there a lot. More calmer a little bit. If you go on the top, still from the left side, it means Kamala, Surin, Chong Tale, Bang Tao, the same name. And we go up higher to the airport and more calmer and calmer. Like next to the airport, they have Maikao Beach and Nayang Beach. They pretty calm, because the people mostly go to the down of the island. So by the right side of the island, you can see there also the water, but unfortunately there is no beach to swim almost at all. Maybe have only one beach. So if you want to have house next to the sea and you have easy access, so you basically have to choose the left side. The right side is mostly for parking of the boats, for piers and other things. In Phuket, they have schools. The schools is located in Chalong area. Chalong area is next to the pier, and they have villas with a nice price range between 100 to 150. If you go up higher, we go to Koh Keo area and central part of Phuket. They have a British International School there, and this school is the most famous school, I would say, in Phuket. Most of the families bring them kids there because British school is famous in the world. They have in many countries. So this area is in the middle of the island. There is no easy access to the beach, but it's very nice residential area. And the other one is a Bang Tao area. They have also nice school, Head Start school, and in this school you can bring the kids and you can live next to the beach. So basically we separate the areas like this. So you can pick which one is more suitable for you. And if you want super calm area, you just go up to the top of the island, next to the airport, and around the airport 15-20 minutes around everywhere. Super calm area, super nice to live. Okay, the next question, always people asking, how can we make sure that the owner is real and the property not some kind of scam? How can we verify the owners? So basically, if you work alone, this is pretty difficult to do because you need to know how to read Thai because all the papers of the ownership of the houses is in Thai. It's called Blue Book. And so they have information about the owner in that, and it has to be matching with the passport. So it can be Thai owner or foreigner owner. So as a company, we have lawyers who check in these things, and especially our team, all of them is Thai people, and they can easily understand, does this person is real owner or not? Because if you're renting by yourself, it's quite difficult to understand, but even if you not cooperate with us, when you're going to check the house, the first thing you have to check after you confirm that this house is nice for you is the ownership of the house, that is all legal and no problem, because there's a lot of scams in Phuket, and the people renting for sublease, which they cannot do sublease, the owner don't know they do sublease, and sometimes you can end up to rent in the property which already someone rented this and just rent it out to you, and then owner comes and it can be a problem. So basically, what you need to make sure is to check a blue book that the passport of the owner is the same, and then you're good to go. Okay, so the next question is always people ask to us is beside the rent, what else should I actually pay? So like in every country in the world, basically you pay for electricity and the water. And there's some situations when the houses can include the cleaning for you and Wi-Fi. So sometimes you need to pay for this, sometimes not. It depends from the owner. And if you rent in the villa, then most of the villas have a pool. So the pool cleaning is also included. Usually it takes like once a week, but sometimes it can be 2-3 times a week, depends from the season. Because if the rain goes, rainy season, sometimes the pool can get dirty faster. But sometimes it requires only once in 2 weeks. So it all depends from the situation, but basically they include once a week. The next one is a garden. Every villa basically have a garden. The big one or super small, like it depends from the villa, but the garden maintenance is also one of the parts of the taking care of the villa. So this is also includes to the price. So what's included? Gardening, pool cleaning, sometimes internet, sometimes cleaning. What's not included 100%, water and electricity. Okay, so the next question, it comes about the deposit. So basically, how much should I pay for the deposit and does it returning or not? Because we have many clients from many countries, and some of the countries, they have very scary situation about deposits. They do not return the deposits, and you basically, when you pay the deposit, you already know that you will not get it back. In Thailand, we doesn't have the situations. Maybe like in everywhere in the world, there is like 5% of the people that you can end up in these situations, yes. But in the 95%, it's all pretty good. You're all pretty protected by the police, tourist police especially. So the deposit is 2 months of the rental payment. So if you rent in the villa for 100K, so basically you need to pay the deposit for 200K. So when you move in, you pay one payment in advance of the rent, 100K plus 2 deposits. So totally you pay 300K. What the deposit for? So the deposit basically it secure the situation with if something broken in the villa, if some damage by your fault, if it's happened during your stay, like broken TV or destroy the furniture, you know, some kind of situations. So the deposit can be used to cover all these expenses. The second thing is the contracts in the Thailand signing for long term for 1 year. And deposit is protection that the contract will be you're not going to move out earlier. So this is the main idea. So also, so the two things, damage or breaching the contract. For example, you live 3 months and you want to move out, then in the 80% of the situations, your deposit will not be refunded, unfortunately, because the contract is signing for 1 year and the deposit is securing that the contract will be 1 year. So, what else? How often does this happen that the deposit will not be refunded? As we discussed, it's about 5% of the situations. Mostly the deposit always refunded. And the only thing which, if you, for example, leave, no problem, 1 year you leave, you didn't do any damage, it can happen that something can be cut? Basically, all these things is mentioned in agreement. So what can cut from the deposit is a final cleaning before you move out. It not cost that much, it's cost about 2,000 baht, something like this. And the next thing is the pets. If you have a pet, then at first the deposit can be a little bit higher. Some owners, they want to be extra protective because the pets is kind of higher risk, so that the property can be damaged, especially if it's a big dog or cats, the sofa or something like this. And in the contract also can be mentioned that after you move out, there is going to be the special pets cleaning, so it can be cost a little bit higher, like about 5,000 baht or maybe a bit higher, like 7. So it depends from the property, especially from the size. So something like this. The next question is coming about the online booking the property. So when you stay abroad, and can you safely book the property online without seeing it? So basically, yes. We have about 20% of our clients which come in abroad and they want to secure the property before they come. So this is normal situation. So what is important to check? Important to check that the property in real. So basically you need to have a person or trusted agent who can see this property by the real eyes. So definitely what you don't need to do is to take and book the property by the pictures, like mostly it happens in some hotel bookings or Airbnb. It doesn't really go to see the property, you just book it by the picture. So this is the worst thing you can do for long-term rentals. So at first you need to see the property by your eyes, because the pictures and reality, it can be totally different. So you can be secured. So the next thing is, when it's all good, all nice, the property ownership is checked, all is good, then you can book the property, and you must book the property, because in Phuket it's really high interest of people moving to Thailand right now, and the people moving a lot, and the nice properties is always renting out very fast. So in our company we use a smart system to scrap these properties from the market and add it as soon as possible to our database to offer to the clients. And the main idea that if you see the property that you like, you really need to book it. For the booking, you don't need to pay the huge amount, you don't need to kind of pay 50%. Mostly is enough only 50,000 Thai baht, is about $1,500. You secure your property, you sign in the booking agreement. On this moment, we already check the ownership and everything secured, everything protected, and you sign in the booking agreement that this property is going to wait for you. And normally the owners can accept waiting 1 or 2 months until you come. So 2 months before, this is, I would say, maximum period that you should book in advance. Otherwise, more likely the owner won't accept it because he losing the income, and we can understand it. So don't rush, just take your time, and if you have that much time to moving in, take your time to educate yourself, to be, like we like to say, we like to educate our clients on the level of the average real estate agent in Phuket, that you know exactly everything that the average real estate agent knows. And when it comes to make a decision, you can make it totally wisely, and don't be afraid that you lose something, overpaying, or you can get scammed. So you can rent it by yourself, or you can rent it with us, and the only difference is that when you're renting with a company, is you're gonna get taken care of during your stay all the time. So any problems with a property like AC leaking, snake in the garden, dirty pool, it can be managed. The only thing that you're going to manage it by yourself, or our team is going to help you with this. So basically, if you're renting with a company, you're gonna get support during all your time you're staying in a property. Okay, so the next question is, what is the best time to rent the property in Phuket? Does it depends from the season? Does the price changes too much or no? So basically, it all comes to the area. You're going to rent the property in tourist area or residential area. If you're going to rent the property which very, very high interest for the Airbnb, for the short term, then sometimes the owners, they increase the rental price for the properties which in tourist areas, next to the beach. But if you move in for the long term, then I believe most of our clients make a decision to the comfort side, and comfort side is don't be in the crowded tourist areas, is being about 10-minute drive from it. And you already comes to the calm, peaceful residential areas, which is nice to live, which has less traffic, which has much more empty roads, so you can play, you can ride a bicycle, you can, like in Kokera area, they have nice lakes and parks, and some places in Phuket also have nice places and parks that you can also walk or ride the bicycle. So in the tourist areas is quite impossible. And the next thing is the prices. So the prices in residential areas is stable, and most of the owners, they prefer to rent the property for long term, because the short term, as we work with investors, we also suggest our clients to rent for long term, because the short term is always like this. Sometimes you have a tourist, you can make a lot of money, but then this tourist destroying the property, and then the property is in very bad condition and you need to pay money for renovation. The long-term income is stable, and if you calculate, if you being the owner of the property, you calculate the income during the long term, like 5 years, then you will understand that actually it's almost the same money. But having the nice family living for long term in the house is much better. So the residential properties is always stable price. It doesn't matter you're going to rent it in the high season, December or Jan, or you're going to rent it in the kind of low season in the mid of summer, it's going to be the same price. So you don't need to worry about that you're going to lose some opportunity or you will have much more to choose from. The properties in Phuket, they being available every day. Some people moving out, some people moving in, so every day the properties changes. So the main idea is to just to have to choose from, have the options to choose from. And to have these options, I would say you need to pay attention how you're going to find them, because you definitely have some choices. The first one, you can search it by yourself. The second one, you can search it by yourself in Facebook Marketplace. They have lots of properties, but you have to be aware that most of these properties can be on the marketplace for the 6 months, and it's not available anymore, like 80% of the properties. And the second thing is that the prices, it can be not the same as right now in the market, because the Phuket market is growing and the prices is growing every year for the rent. So the best time is to rent, as we always say to our client, is right now. So don't worry that you will not get the nice price. You don't worry that you will not get the best property, because our team has big part of our team has a searching the properties on the Phuket and add it to our database and update it all the time. So our clients get very fresh, just uploaded to the market properties and have the best options to choose from. Okay, so the next question is coming, what is better actually, villa or condo? So it all comes from, do you have a family, do you have kids, or you live alone? And the second thing is, do you have a pet? Because 95% of the condos in Thailand, unfortunately, do not allow pets. This is the policy of the developers, and unfortunately, 95% do not allow the pets. So, and I don't think that you want to live with a pet in the apartment, because the Phuket have so many nice houses and villas which have a huge garden. So what's the point to rent in a small apartment if your pet can play around all the time in the good weather outside? So I think the most of the people will end up renting the villas or nice big houses if you have a pet. If you have a family, I would suggest the same, because the apartments, basically there is not that much apartments that big that you can feel comfortable with a family. They have some nice penthouses, but it's not that famous in Phuket to build in condos with very big size of the rooms or penthouses, because this is kind of island life, and especially there's an airport on the island, so it's not allowed to build very high buildings. So what is a popular type of the property here with a comfort, with a nice comfort for your family, is a villa. So basically, if you want to rent the property, we suggest to rent a villa, because nice property, big property, it's always going to be a villa. Condo is nice for the people who live alone, who traveling and not planning to stay for the long, and who want to live kind of with a like affordable budget and next to the beach. So that can be a condo. But if you're planning to stay for the long term, if you want to have a comfort and safe neighborhood, because the villas always in the compounds, and in these compounds they have like a common gym, co-working, sauna, kids playground, and it's kind of, you know, you get any new friends, you live in this community. Sometimes in the villas communities, they even have a coffee shops or restaurants, so it's kind of nice to live. So most of our clients, as we specialize on the villas, they choose in the villa, and they choose in the villa in some residential areas because they have a nice projects which can offer you not only nice property but also something extra. Like your kids can make friends, play outside of the villa, and I would say this is pretty big thing to choose from. So the next thing is what do you actually need to check when you go to see the villa? Do you need to see how nice is it, or you need to pay attention to some small details which makes a big difference? From our experience, when we go to see the property with the clients, and especially when we add in the property to our database, we go to the inspection before to make sure that this property is really nice, and because we take a guarantee for our clients that we offer in the nice property. So the main idea is you need to check the mold. You need to check the mold at first because Thailand is a humid climate, and the mold coming out in the properties all the time. And if the property is built the wrong way, the mold is a really big issue because it's dangerous at first for your health. And the next one is not that easy to see. Some owners, they can just paint above the mold and you will never know, but sometimes it has a smell. So the first thing is we paying attention at is a mold. The next one is a AC. Does this AC is working properly? Does this AC is clean? Does this AC is maintained well? Because the AC, if the AC is old and not maintained well, it can increase your electrical bill twice from the normal, like a modern AC, which is don't consume that much electricity as the old type of the AC. So sometimes you can rent a nice property for 100K, but they have an old AC everywhere, and you end up to paying for electricity 20-30K per month, and totally you made a decision between the other property which is cost only 110, but they have a modern AC, and you will pay only 5 to 7K per month. So this is some kind of small trick based on our experience, which you have to pay attention on. So I wouldn't say that Thailand has a problems with the water. There's always nice water in every property. Doesn't have problems with the pressure. It's all good with the heating. And in case if the government water cut off, every property has their own water tank that secured from the situations like this. So the next thing is the cleanliness of the property. Does the owner take care of the property well or not? Does the painted once a year or it's painted once in 10 years? You know, like the small things, the painting is not expensive, and by the type how the owner take care of the property, you can see has his attitude to this thing. It can show you does this property has a problems or no. So this is kind of small trick again. The next thing I would say is about electricity. Some properties doesn't have a government rate. The government rate is 4.5, and it's the funny thing in Thailand is going down. So it can happen to be a 4 baht per 1 unit of electricity. So it's going cheaper. And some properties, some developments, they charge by themselves. So it can be like 7 or 8. So there is a big difference. You're going to pay for rent for electricity 4,000 baht per month or 8. So this is very important thing to know and check in the property before you move in. The next thing is insects. Because Thailand is a warm country, they have lots of ants, they have lots of insects that can come to your house. So the proper villas, they also provide you a pest control. So the thing which you need to check is there any issues with the pests, like any ants coming to your house, or any holes in the garden that can be a snake houses or something like this. So this is also very important, especially in the lowest parts in Phuket, like Rawai. They have very big issues with the snakes, so you have to really pay attention to these things. And the next thing is condition of the furniture, because there is a humid climate here, as I said, and not every furniture can hold that long as the owner think. So you need to pay attention, does this furniture is okay? Does this wardrobe is opening properly? Because outside it can look nice, but when you're moving in, if you didn't check it before, you can end up to having like half of the furniture is old already and doesn't work properly. So this is also very important thing. Okay guys, so the next question is about the visa. How can I get the visa? What should I do with this? So basically the Thailand offers you different type of visas. If you bring in your kids to the school, you can get the parent visa. One kid allowed to have one visa for parent. So it means if you have 2 kids, you can do a visa for mom and dad. If you have only 1 kid, you have to choose who's gonna get the visa. But the other person, they have other choices to get the visas. Thailand right now launching lots of nice visas. Thailand always opening to the tourists, and now they launched the DTV visa, a destination tourist visa, which means the visa which allow you to stay in Thailand for about 5 years. You need to renew this visa every 6 months, but this process is done by easy, like 15 minutes and 2,000 baht, and you extend your visa for the 6 months again. And after 1 year, you need to out from the country and get back, and then you get again 6 months, and then this process comes at least 5 years. So the thing is that this visa is easy to get, and everyone can get this visa. And the question is, should I do it by myself, or I can get help with this? So yes, with our clients, we help with everything, and we don't charge anything. We willing to help, and we just have the trusted partners, which we always working with, because we have lots of clients always having the requests, visa, currency exchange, car rental. So because we wanted to help with every situation possible to our clients, and we believe that we want to provide the services like a 5-star real estate agency, and you don't need to pay anything extra for this. We're just happy to help. So we have a trusted partners that can help you with a visa, and the only thing you need is to just ask if you need help, and we're willing to help, and we're happy to help. So we connect you with the partners, and they will consult you for free with any questions which you might have, with your nationality, all these things we do not do by ourselves. We believe that the job has to be done by professionals. That's why we just cooperate with the good agencies which we trust, which already help us with many times, and they just help our clients to get these things done. The second thing is, how can I bring the money to the Thailand? What should I do? So basically, as I would say 80% of the people right now, I believe, maybe this is just my opinion, knows what is it crypto. So in every country from the world, you can get the money to the crypto and bring it here to the Thailand. This is the one way. The next way is to just send this money to here to Thailand. You just can send it to the SWIFT or some other transfer if you have a bank account here. The bank accounts is one thing which we're going to describe in another video, how to get it, and does anyone can get it or not. But basically, even if you doesn't have a bank account, the money can be brought to the country, and I would say 80% of our clients doing it by crypto. So we have a trusted partners who always exchanging us a lot of money. They already exchanged $1 million for us, for our clients to buy a property, who renting the property, and all this money exchanging by crypto. So basically, you can give this money by cash or by the bank transfer from your country. Is like you live in Dubai or you live in Europe, you can do this transfer on the account of our partners, and they exchange it for you, or you just do it. You can do it from the crypto itself. So if you have a crypto, you just our partners helping you to exchange. You send them crypto, and they're giving you Thai baht by cash or by the transfer directly to the owner. All this thing is possible. We doesn't do it by ourselves. We always cooperate with the trusted partners, with the companies who have a nice professional team, who have a big experience, good reviews, and who already work on the market for long. And because of the work we do for more than like 3 years already in Thailand, in Phuket, we helping our clients with any possible problems. We already gained the trust, and we get the best companies to cooperate with. So now we have, I would say, company which can solve any kind of possible problems which can happen here, and we cooperate with them already many times, and they show them professionalism, and they did them job well. So we just go with by our experience, and now we have lots of partners who can help us to manage any kind of problem. So the money exchange, if it's one of your problems, and you're worrying about it, so don't worry, just let us know and we will be happy to help you. Same as any other problems, just if you even think that, oh, these guys definitely cannot help me with this, just try to ask. More likely we can. The last question is frequently asked, does it that much difficult to rent the property if you have pets? I would say no. But if you check on the market by yourself, then 80% of the property would mark no pets allowed. And this is the really big thing which we never understand. Because in our cases, in our experience, 80% of the owners who says not pets allowed can be negotiated and it can be pets allowed. It's just a question about does the agents want to, or you want to work for it and try to negotiate or not. So basically I would say 80% of the properties can be and allow the pets. So you don't need to worry about the dogs or cats or parrots, like any kind of pets you might have. Basically you can always negotiate with the owner. Half of them is already allowing the pets, and the other half we can negotiate with them 80% to be pets allowed. We have a big property database that allow the pets, and as I said, if you check on the market, there is going to be 80% that is not allowing the pets. But when you talk with the owner and explain that the small dog doesn't do that much damage and the worst thing they can do is a pee and poo a little bit and maybe some scratch the sofa, and this thing can be fixed in some kind of 10,000 baht maximum, and they accept it. Maybe you need to pay the deposit a little bit higher, like for 20,000 baht more than normally. But still, this is just a question, can you negotiate for this or not? And we can. So, and you also can. I believe that the friendly Thai owners and the most of the owners is good people, and they totally understand your situation, and is not that big a problem that you have in a pet or not, so don't worry. And especially bring the pets to the Thailand is not that difficult. You just need to follow the rules which they have to bring the pets to international countries, like bring abroad. You need to have vaccinations, the passport, and chip, as I know. But there is not going to be issues with bringing any kind of pets to the Thailand and to moving in with this pet to your property. So don't worry. Okay, guys. So I hope this video was helpful for you. So we really believe that anyone can get a very nice property, and anyone can have a good price and move in with the pets and have the life which they dreamed of. For the last year, we helped more than 400 families to achieve these dreams, to move to Phuket, to buy property here or rent. So we will be happy to see you here, and we wait for the moment when you come here, or you want to book the property online, or you want to book the property offline. When you come here and see it in the real eyes, there is no problem at all. Do whatever you feel comfortable, and especially work with the people you trust. The main thing in here is you definitely can have a good property. The property market is big, and the new property coming every day. Yes, but they gone that fast, as like super fast that you cannot even imagine. We have many situations when the clients come to see the property, they like everything, and then they take time to think one day, and like no problem, and the next day then they telling us that yes, we want to rent this property. We call into the owner and they said like, after 2 hours after you've seen the property, and another agency bring the client and it's already rented out. So the property leaving fast, but they also coming fast, so there's a good chances that you will have a nice property which you're dreaming of. And so they come in the situation that you can rent this property by yourself, or you can rent the property with the people who you're going to trust, and who are going to take care of you all the time during your stay here. Because moving to the Thailand is not only about having a nice property, it's having the people who can support you with currency exchange problems, visa things, how to actually pick the property and not get scammed, how to be sure that the agent is on your side, or on the side of the money, and he's just thinking about that. So I would say this is more important than just the property. So thank you guys for watching the video, and wish you a nice trip to the Thailand, and nice to knowing you, and looking forward to meet you everyone, and our agents will assist you with any of your questions of moving here. So thank you for watching. Bye.